Masking tape is really useful for Masking tape, I use it to join sheets of... Masking tape is useful... I need to clear my throat, I think. Today, I want to talk about patterning materials along with some tools and tips that can help you get more accurate, easy to use patterns. And when I say patterning, I mean one of two things. It can refer to the guide that helps you cut and assemble the pieces for a project, or the process of creating a pattern from an existing item, either by removing and tracing old upholstery or components, or by patterning directly over the object to make a custom cover. The types of patterns I'll be focusing on are for upholstery, bag making, and leatherwork. So if you primarily make clothing or shoes, it may not be directly applicable, but maybe it can still inspire you to try a new project. I'll start by covering the 3 patterning materials I use most often, explain what they're best for, and then finish the video with some helpful tools and quick tips to help you make some easy to use, accurate patterns. If you've watched many Sailrite videos, you probably recognize this first material. This is our Sailrite patterning material. It's our own brand, but there's many similar products out there. It's clear so you can see the fabric pattern, foam, or whatever object is underneath, which makes it easy to trace accurate shapes, mark openings, hardware locations, and reference points. It's pretty stiff compared to the next material I'm going to talk about, and that's a benefit because it's not going to stretch, tear, or deform. The rigidity also makes it easy to handle and trace. This is my go-to choice for bag patterns, cushions, pillows, and other flat projects. We print this material for our patterns included in our DIY kits, and many of those patterns are sold individually as well. It's affordable and comes in 60 or 78-inch widths, so you get more bang for your buck per yard. For patterns with more shape and curvature, I like to use Durascrim. It's similar to the previous material, but it's thinner and a lot more flexible. I recently used it to pattern a cover for my car seat because it had a pretty big hole right down the middle seam. I wouldn't call it stretchy, but the flexibility allows it to conform around curves really easily, and the diamond shapes you see are actually interwoven ribbons, which help prevent tearing and warping. If you're patterning something with complex curves like a seat, outboard motor cover, grill cover, or any other fitted project, this is usually your best choice. Since I do a lot of leather work, paper is another material I use frequently. I like it because it's inexpensive, easily available, and easy to mark on. You can write on all of these materials, of course, but paper allows for much thinner, sharper, and more precise lines. And in leatherwork, even a couple millimeters can make a noticeable difference. So the precision of a pencil line versus a marker line really matters. That's one reason our leather patterns are printed on paper instead of the plastic patterning material like our fabric kits. Paper is also really easy to glue to something like a poster board to create a more rigid, reusable template. For smaller patterns, I use a glue stick. For larger ones, I started using Sailrite spray adhesive to cover larger surfaces more quickly and evenly. I do this with most of my patterns because it's inexpensive and makes templates much easier to trace using a pen or a scratch-all. Unlike plastic materials, I can simply lay the template down, hold it in place with fabric weights, and trace around it without needing pins or clips. While I mostly use this for leather, it would work just as well for fabric. The main downsides are it's not transparent, and it wouldn't smoothly wrap around a shape like the Durascrim. There's also a couple types of tape that are especially helpful for patterning. Strapping tape is partially transparent and easy to remove, which makes it great as a base layer when patterning over something. I'll often lay it down first, and then stick basting tape to it. Then I can stick the patterning material to the basting tape, pull it taut, and draw the pattern. Sticking basting tape directly onto upholstery or other surfaces can leave a residue that's difficult to remove, so having that barrier really helps. Masking tape is really useful for paper patterns. I use it to join sheets of poster board together for larger templates, and to pattern irregular shapes that I want to wrap with fabric or leather. This technique is common in shoemaking, but I've also used it for wrapping handles and furniture legs with leather. Check out our full video right here or in the description if you want to learn more about that. When it comes to marking on patterns, it's pretty simple. On plastic patterning materials, I use a fine tip permanent marker. Some brands smear more than others, but I've had good luck with this Milwaukee marker. For paper patterns, I just use a regular pencil. To transfer patterns onto fabric or leather, there's a lot more options, and Sailrite carries a wide range of marking tools. My personal favorites are the Scriball marking pencil and the chalk pencil. We also have a detailed PDF linked in the description that compares all 13 marking tools we sell and how they perform on different materials. For leather and wax canvas, I like to use a scratch-all, which doesn't mark, but it creates a line by scratching. Rulers are another essential patterning tool, and there's 3 that I use constantly. A flexible tape measure is great for measuring curved surfaces and for finding the circumference or midpoint of cylinders or rounded shapes. The Sailrite 6x24" acrylic ruler is definitely my most used ruler by far. I use it to mark straight lines, seam allowances, and I use it as my square. I also often use a 36" straight edge for longer lines, and my favorite feature on this specific ruler is it has a 0 center on the backside, which makes it easy for finding the center of both large and small panels. That's all the tools and materials I wanted to talk about, but now I want to rapid fire a few tips and tricks that might help improve or speed up your patterning process. Use a cheaper pair of scissors for cutting plastic patterning materials and paper. Both of those will dull blades faster than fabric. If the item you're patterning is symmetrical, you can save time and improve accuracy by tracing only half of it, folding it along the center line, and transferring the shape to the other side. This is another great reason to use clear patterning material. When patterning around an object, add seam allowance after you've finalized the shape and remove the pattern. It's easier to stay accurate when your pattern is laying flat on the table instead of wrapped around whatever you're patterning. Using different colors of markers can help you distinguish things like cut lines from fold lines and seams. You may even want to develop a color-coded system so you know what each mark is at a glance. If you need to edit a pattern drawn on plastic, permanent markers can be removed with isopropyl alcohol. This also works well for cleaning the edge of acrylic rulers. Don't forget to label and orient every pattern piece. Make notes about the name of the piece, the stretch direction, top and bottom orientation, how many you need, and whether a piece needs to be flipped to create a mirrored version or not. Leave yourself plenty of notes, and remember, marker can be removed from plastic if you need to revise anything. Finally, save your patterns. They fold up easily and you never know when you'll need them again, whether to remake a project, repair something, or use them again as a reference for future designs. Check the video description for the links to the products, tools, and resources I mentioned in this video. And check out this video right here if you want to see some Durascrim in action, because I just made a custom seat cover for my car. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.